This week on Convincing Idiots, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be disappointed. We talk about Madam Web. We talk about X-Men. We talk about the Super Bowl, the commercials, the game, the spectacle of it. And then in our main event, oh boy, here we go. It's Valentine's Day-ish. So we talk about our favorite fictional couples. All of that, maybe some inappropriate jokes. You got to listen to find out. You know how you do that? We start it now, and let's start the show.
All right. Test.
Call it again? Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got to hold poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean Vizzetio.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And, well, we're again Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to join us in a little bit if he can.
Mm-hmm.
He's having 3 of his pinkies removed. And when he's done with that, I think he's going to try to join us.
Yeah, don't ask which pinkies. You know what I mean?
No. It's none of your business, really, if we're being honest.
Yep. That is correct. So
Yeah.
I will do his job again.
Somebody's got to.
That's right. I'll remind you that we are a podcast of 3 friends from 3 different generations. We get together once a week to talk about all things pop and nerd culture. You might be listening to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We can be found on all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Wherever you listen to podcasts, look up the Convincing Idiots podcast. Give us a free follow or subscribe. And if you're able to give us a rating or review to help others find the show, we appreciate that.
Do it. You ain't doing anything more important than that.
No, fuck no. What, are you curing cancer out there? Fuck no, you're not.
Right. But if you are curing cancer, don't worry about it. Let somebody else rate and review us.
Yeah, take a break for a second.
Yeah, you
for
stick
an
to
hour
that.
or so.
Yeah.
That's right. You might be watching us on our YouTube channel at Convincing Idiots, or perhaps our YouTube music channel, where it can be heard or watched there. All show information can be found in 2 main places. Our Linktree page is simply Google Linktree Convincing Idiots. It's simply a page with links to our social media. And our website, if you go to one place, go there. It's convincingidiots.wordpress.com. All show information is there. Links to new episodes, videos, bios, our merch store on tpublic.com, ways to sponsor the show, all that good stuff. And if you do anything at all, tell a friend, give us a share, follow, all that stuff. That's how we grow. And
There is...
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to mention, you mentioned TeePublic.
Yep.
There is a shirt on there. Yes, you can get the dirtbag shirts of us as youths.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the logo, but there's also a new shirt on there of the 3 of us walking hand in hand towards the annihilation of all mankind. It is probably, it's going to be one of the finer garments you wear. So
Of course.
Look for that.
Absolutely. It's appropriate on all occasions. Any business meeting, insurance seminar, weddings.
You're looking for something to wear during Valentine's Day?
Absolutely.
Actually,
and your
when you
partner
hear this,
will appreciate
Valentine's
that.
Day has already happened. So
It's already happened because it was yesterday. Actually, we're shooting this on Thursday. Yeah, but that's okay. you save it for next year, or maybe some people celebrating Valentine's Day, or maybe looking for a last minute Valentine's Day gift.
Or
Dean, I
you're
don't
just looking for a shirt that really gets your partner going.
Yeah,
that's going to be it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, actually, I'll mention another promo here, Dean. Was we're talking about Valentine's Day and romance, and some people might think about actually getting married around this time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, if you're watching us on video, I'm wearing an Ignite Brewing Company hat in wonderful Barberton, Ohio, in the Northeast Ohio area. So,
second location in Brunswick, if you're out in that way also.
That's right. Very nice location as well, managed by our friend Joey, who was on the podcast previously.
That's right.
That's right. So, but yeah, if you happen to be in this area on the 29th of February, it's leap year this year, Dean. So,
yeah.
If you are inclined to take the leap, plunge and take the leap and get married, yours truly, this is big news. This is global-wide
news. We're breaking it tonight.
That's right. Global-wide news. If you want to fly over from fucking Germany or Sweden for this,
who was
it's perfectly great.
A fantastic gentleman who wrote us on Facebook from Africa.
It was a nice. I think it was a nice woman from South Africa.
From South Africa.
Very nice compliment the other day. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, if you fly over from Germany or Sweden, your first two drinks will be on the house. That would be more than appropriate. Anyways,
not on Ignite's house, but it'll be on us. We will buy you the beer.
Absolutely. Yours truly is a certified minister in the wonderful state of Ohio, and I could legally perform weddings. So you get yourself a marriage license, not a wedding license, a marriage license.
Yep.
Show up, and I'll be happy to perform the ceremony free of charge for you. And if you happen to be already married and you thought it'd be nice to renew your vows, stop on down, have a nice delicious beer. They have great food, great beer selections. Hang out with us, and let me marry you.
And ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a bit. This is actually this is the event being held by Ignite. Brian is going to be performing the ceremonies, and this is not just like ceremony. Anybody can come. You go get your license ahead of time, and you bring the license to Ignite. And from 5 to 9 o'clock,
that's right,
on Leap Day, Brian will be performing all the ceremonies that come through the door. Take the leap on Leap Day at Ignite Brewing.
That's right. We expect hundreds of people. Hundreds.
We're hoping, right?
Hundreds, if not thousands.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it'll be very fast.
Be one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
And if we get a big group, maybe we can do like one of those big group ceremonies.
Sure. Absolutely. Yep.
That'd be good.
Stop on down. You can find Ignite Brewing Company out there on social media, on Facebook, etc. Find them for extra details on their Facebook page or
600
on the website.
Tuscarawas Avenue, Barberton, Ohio.
There you go. Beautiful downtown Barberton.
Right next to the movie theater.
That's right. So that's one thing that's new. So Dean, anything else new with you? Then I'll just talk about what else is new with me. But what else is new with you, sir? Anything going on?
Okay. Let's see. Well, there are some firsts here for me. Well, not for me, but my son, 12-year-old boy Carter. He has never seen Dumb and Dumber, and he has never had Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Got it.
Right.
That's
I thought that was strange.
Well, they're not as prevalent around here until there's a little bit more recently, maybe. But there's a new location close by. Yeah, but
And that's the one we went to up on Manchester Road.
Okay.
And we sat and had Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then the next day we sat and watched Dumb and Dumber. Come to find out that he is a lot of the jokes were very 90s style. There are some more adult jokes that he didn't quite get, but there was some stuff that he did find humorous. He kind of gave it a slight thumbs up. He enjoyed it, but it didn't quite impact his life like it did our lives when we first saw it. But come to report that the mashed potatoes and gravy did rock his world and did change his life.
Yes.
So there's that.
Very good stuff. Makes you want to get some. I haven't had it in a long time.
It was good. Yeah. I got one of those one of the bowls that has the mashed potatoes, gravy, corn, chicken. Yeah. I mean, it's just awful for your fucking self, but it was delicious. Whatever. Not the worst thing I put into my fucking body.
Yeah.
We got to hang out a little bit. We tonight actually before. Yes. Actually, we retreated to our homes to do the show, which is odd. But we got to hang out and have the meeting about the wedding, upcoming nuptials for anybody who wants to join in at Ignite Brewing Company, 600 Tuscarawas Avenue on the 29th of February, Leap Day.
Yes, indeed.
Got to get that plug in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do the show there soon too, Dean. We'll talk about that later, though. We'll figure that out later. But yeah,
but you got to get those plugs in. I mean,
sure. Not
all of us can be Aaron Blake because Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance company located. I'm on a roll, baby. Let's do it. It's an Erie insurance company located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Let me tell you, Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And who knows? You come down to get married, you might see Mr. Aaron Blake yourself. Who knows? He lives in town.
That's right. Aaron is married to excellent service and great savings, I hear.
That's right.
How about that? Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you knew Tasha's nickname, but that's that's nice.
That's right. No further comment. All right. So anything else going on? Yep.
Nope. That's about it. Just hanging out and with the kids and everything.
Very nice. I had a nice weekend. I had a nice weekend last weekend. So last Friday, we went out and celebrated a week late. No, a day late. I shouldn't say a week late. It was a week late. I apologize. So Joey's birthday. So my beautiful daughter, Peyton's boyfriend, very nice kid, Joey, his birthday.
His opinion.
Yeah. Went out to La Mexicana in Talmadge, Ohio, off historic Talmadge Circle. Very good Mexican restaurant.
It is my favorite Mexican restaurant joint in the area.
Yes, it's very, very good. Great service, great ownership there, and it's a unique menu too. Again, it's not the average Mexican food you can find some places, and drinks are very good as well. They make a great margarita.
Yeah, their margaritas are fantastic. They got that where they cut the pineapple in half and fill it with shrimp, chicken, and cheese, and then bake it, and then comes out. Oh, it's so good.
Allie had like a baked potato. It was like a Mexican type baked potato bowl. It just looked great. Just full of, not unlike probably the Kentucky Fried Chicken, this bowl of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
just full of love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but great time celebrating with the kids. It was great. Peyton, Joey, and her younger brother Carter went with us. So it was a nice time.
We all got to spend time with Carters.
Yeah, that's right.
It's nice.
That's right. Then we went to the Hop and Frog brewery afterwards. Again, some of the best beer in town. Very, very good. Saturday, went to the Goodyear Theater in East Akron and saw a Kiss tribute band, Mr. Speed. Has some local guys in the band. They dress up like 70s Kiss. Just a great, great show. It's a definitely above average Kiss tribute show. I mean, they have upscale effects, and they wear costumes from Not that you might know, Dean, but from the Dynasty era, like the late 70s era, the drummer is dressing up like Eric Carr, who was a drummer after Peter Criss, so he has the Fox makeup and stuff.
Okay.
So just a great band, a lot of fun. So if you're a Kiss fan and you happen to have an opportunity to see Mr. Speed, go check them out. And of course, Sunday was the Super Bowl. Dean, we'll talk more about that later. Went over, hung out with some friends. The Cunninghams and other folks have been doing that for the last several years now. It's just a nice time to relax and watch the game. And like I said, we'll talk more about the game in the show. So that's what's new with me, sir. So
very good.
Yeah. Have you seen anything that's getting some idiot reviews then? So have you seen anything you wish to talk about in idiot reviews?
Well, we're going to talk. I watched the Super Bowl, and we'll talk about that. I already talked about Dumb and Dumber. I watched. So the only other thing there is The Daily Show with once
Jon
again
Stewart.
Jon Stewart. It's only on Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll have different hosts, throughout the week. But
What'd you
Jon
think of the
Stewart is
return?
back. I loved it. I'm a huge fan of Jon Stewart. I know he got some shit about maybe going a little too hard on Biden's age or whatnot. We're not going to get political. I think if you've listened to this show long enough, you know where we lean to it. But I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. You got to, jokes are jokes. Funny is funny. I've said it before in this show, and I'll say it every time. That's not funny is an opinion, not a fact. Anything could be joked about if done correctly, and I think he did it correctly and did it quite well. So,
You get
kudos
both
to Jon
sides
Stewart.
equal
equal
play.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree with you. I thought it was good. I saw it today on YouTube.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a. Megan had me watch this Matchmaker Millionaire thing. Jesus!
Just getting ready for the future.
Yeah, I just get so mad at these things until I have to remind myself that it's not real, that it's all just made up. That it's scripted essentially. But it's just, and it's from like 2011, so it's dated. You wouldn't think 2011 there'd be too much like dated things, but it does. You definitely get how and understand how old it was, and even when beyond that, just the shallowness of some of these people doesn't matter the money wise. It's just anybody willing to go on a dating show to find love.
Yeah,
you're not there to find love. You're there to find fame or anything else. But
that's right.
So that's about it for me. What about you? Have you seen anything worthwhile?
Yeah, if you want to find love, come down to Ignite Brewing. No, I forget it. So that's a nice segue back into the plug.
You should probably already have love before you get down there.
That's true. I watched a few things. So like I mentioned last Thursday, I finished the final episode of Secession on HBO Max. I won't spoil it, but again, if you like drama series, I recommend it. It really takes a lot of twists and turns, excellent acting. It won various Emmys, for a reason.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It's one of those. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it's one of those endings where when you first watch it, it's like, is this a good ending? And you go back and reflect and digest. It's like, yeah, it makes you reflect on it and think, and that's the point. I think if it's a good ending, that it's you think through it and it's like, yes, it was a good ending for the characters, and I thought it was fine. So definitely check out Secession on HBO Max. Again, 4 seasons. It's plenty of TV for a while, but I finally got through it on Netflix. I just stumbled across it from 2007. It's like in their top 10 movies right now, so they must have just acquired the rights to stream it. Seraphim Falls. It's like a Western. Liam Neeson, Pierce Brosnan. There you have it. So it's two finer actors that you're going to see on film. So Pierce Brosnan is a former Civil War. It's like a Confederate captain
Okay.
who did some wrong to Liam Neeson, who was a Southern soldier. You know, the war's over, things happen, and Liam Neeson is hunting down Pierce Brosnan, basically out on the, you know, on the plains of the West. So it's just beautifully shot, super well acted. So, yeah.
So what do you do? How do you do with that trailer? Do you want to see James Bond against Qui-Gon Jinn? That's all we're going to say. Just fucking watch the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're cowboys. Go.
That's right. You don't need any more than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And both guys are real badasses and everything. So yeah, check that out if you like old Western, like a feel of an old Western. And again, two fine actors. Go check that out. I've been getting back into Schitt's Creek. I kind of stopped watching it.
Okay.
It's not now. I don't know how long it's been on Hulu, but you can find it there.
One of Megan's favorites.
I just fucking love that show, man. I'm on season 3 of 6 seasons right now. It's such an easy watch. Each episode is like 22 minutes long. You know, so if you're looking for a great comedy, God, you know, it's just everyone on the show is just awesome. You know, every episode makes me laugh without it. Eugene Levy and his son, just fabulous. You know, so check that out if you haven't seen it, or go back and revisit it. And I mentioned previously there was a newer series, The Brother's Son, on Netflix, which I've already recommended. Michelle Yeoh, it's great. But there's a scene in that series that guys were sitting around and watching on television, a movie from 1985, Gymkata. It was an actual movie they were watching. I used to watch this movie a ton as a kid on cable. So it was every time, one of those movies when it came on,
Sure.
I watched it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of forgot about it, really. So I rented that over the weekend and rewatched Gymkata from 85. It has I think it's Kurt Thomas. He was a former actual Olympic gymnast that starred in this movie. Is he a great actor? No, but that's okay. But he's actually doing
the stunts. Okay.
Yeah. Like there's a scene where it makes zero sense, and that's okay. You know, it's one of those movies like it doesn't make any sense at all. But he's in the middle of a square type of thing, and people are closing in on him, and there's like a stone-looking pommel horse. What is it? Why is it there? It doesn't matter why it's there, but it's fucking there.
And he uses it.
Of course. He gets up on this thing, and but this is a guy, I mean, his athleticism was pretty amazing.
Sure.
I've learned he's since has passed on, rest in peace, but he was like, you know, doing the pommel horse thing where he's like down and he's like flipping his legs.
Kicking
you know
people.
What I'm saying? Yeah. You know, circling around, you know, jumping up, hands. It's stuff that makes zero sense that you would do to actually fight people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if there's a guy doing that and you try to go in after him, you're probably going to get kicked in the head. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
you get too close.
He's doing
yeah.
that. He does that type of stuff. He does like, beam stuff throughout it's flips, kicking. It's just crazy, campy. Gymkata. So it's gymnastics, right? And karate. Gymkata. You see? You understand? That's right.
All right. Yeah.
It's like
now I want to watch it.
It's like a crazy martial arts type, stupid. You know,
it's like a B movie type deal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like there's like a game, and athletes are brought in to this country that doesn't exist, and they have to compete in this game. Right? They have to go through this course. Right? If they make it, and of course, people's actually trying to kill them throughout the whole course. Then you get something for your. The premise was in this. That if you get like a wish, like a grant, you have I want to do something in the country here. So he represented the United States, and if he won the game, then they were allowed to put in the first Star Wars defense system for the United States, like out of this country or something along that line. So that was supposed to be a big deal. Anyway,
wow. Yeah.
Check out. Yeah, if it just it's an hour and a half. Sit back, relax.
To me, it sounds perfectly like it would fit in a backyard movie night for us.
It's absolutely perfect for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely
do it.
perfect day. Yeah, have yourself a little, relaxation and just check out Jim Cotta. And I listened to a new album, Dean. So we talked about the Grammys
Oh, okay.
last week.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about our rock bands. I'm doing the thumbs up on the video. Our rock bands sort of shunned on television. Anyways, I went back and looked at who won rock Grammys, and I listened to the Rock Album of the Year by Paramore called "This Is Why." Good album. It's like an alternative rock type group.
Yeah, it's a good band.
They have excellent vocals. The female singer,
Haley Williams, I believe is her name.
I don't know. I'll take your word for it. There's two versions of the album. There's like a straight, standard version that they released, and there's like a remix where they brought in other artists to sing with them and remix all the songs in the album, which is interesting. Yeah, go check out "This Is Why" if you like alternative rock. Again, it was album of the year on the Grammys on the rock. It won both rock album and alternative rock album Grammys of the year, or albums of the year, excuse me. So yeah, check it out. You find it on streaming,
All right,
wherever. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I think everybody should take our recommendations.
Absolutely. And we're also going to recommend that take a short break out there, relax.
I like that.
Start watching Jim Cotta if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Take a breather, and then come back to us after the break. And we're going to get into some pop culture headlines and our Ask an Idiot question of the week. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl a little bit in our Ask an Idiot question of the week here coming up.
I like it.
Yeah, coming up after the break.
Four, three.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots. Nicholas still.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he comes in, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. So we'll see.
If he's good enough, he will.
That's right. So some pop culture headlines, Dean. So another Sony Marvel movie dropped, it didn't drop. It debuted in the theater recently.
Sure.
Madam Web. Now, Madam Web.
I bet that did fantastic.
Boy, I don't know. So Dakota Johnson is in this. Don Johnson's beautiful daughter. I don't think it's anything to do with the acting necessarily. It's just, I don't know, man. I remember Madam Web in the comics. I've been collecting comics off and on. I was a pretty avid collector years ago, and she was a kind of an interesting character. I think she maybe debuted in the 80s. I want to remember that, if I remember correctly.
But was she interesting enough to have her own movie? Or should she have been a character in a Spider-Man movie?
See, that's the thing with these movies. No, is she interested enough to have her own movie? No. Now in the comics, she was like a old lady, but she was like a sort of like a clairvoyant type of thing. She could see the future. She was blind, but again, interesting character, interesting supporting character. But like you say, just not a main character. And Sony, I mean, as we know, they keep trying to make these movies.
But they have to.
Because they lose the rights. Is that why?
Correct. If they don't make a Spider-Man type movie within a few years they lose the rights to it, and it'll go back to Marvel. So that's why they keep throwing out these. What was it? Madam Web. What was the last
Venom.
one?
Venom. They've had Kraven
Venom
the Hunter.
did okay. Kraven the Hunter.
I think it comes out. Did that come out already? I think it's later than the year.
That's the thing is nobody knows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it came out or not. They did that with the one with the where he was the bat. He was
Morbius.
Morbius, yes.
The living vampire. Yeah, the living vampire.
Yeah. That shit the bed too.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think it. I think you'll take the loss of the movie if you're Sony. You'll take the loss because it's cheaper than giving up completely the rights to these characters. So,
well, it's got a terrible review out there. So let's see, the audience score. Let's see, it was 62. No. That's Ant-Man the Wasp. It's like less. It's like 20% range on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just not getting a lot of positive fanfare. I don't know. So they say this could be the last one, a Sony Marvel type movie, perhaps. I don't know. So I guess we'll see. So you're right. I guess it comes down to what you're saying. If they're trying to retain the rights there.
Yeah, they just throw out something and
I guess it doesn't necessarily hurt the Marvel Spider-Man story because they're not tied together.
No, but Marvel is smart enough though that where they're explaining that even those shitty movies that Sony's over there doing is in the Marvel universe, or can be in the Marvel universe, simply as another universe, is another timeline or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So they can use it if they need to, if it comes down to it. If, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they used Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They could use them, and I think also Sony knows that too. Is, you know, hey, we get these on screen, we can get money for them to use them later when they're doing their big secret wars where they have to have, or the next Spider-Man where they have to add, you know, her in it, or Morbius or whatever. So, again, they might not be doing good, but like, I mean, there's a strategy, I think.
Man, I don't know. I think I saw where the original idea was to have Tobey Maguire as the Spider-Man character in this movie, and they changed their mind and they had this Spider-Man looking guy. It's a whole just weird. It's just weird.
It's like a black suit, but it's not Venom.
Yeah, it looks like kind of like the Spider-Man 2099 type suits. I don't know if it's that guy. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing with Spider-Man is you could put anything out there because there's so many, especially Madam Web, because she can see, you know, the future and see all these different the Spider-Man and ideal thing, or like the cartoon one where it shows there's thousands and millions of Spider-Man out there. So you can do anything you want and claim, oh, it's from this universe or that universe.
Right. Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know. For me, the Spider-Women characters look interesting in it. Yeah. You know?
Okay.
But I have no interest in any of these movies. I still haven't seen any of the Venom movies. I have not seen
Venom movies were decent. The second one better than the first, but they were pretty good.
Okay. I still maybe give it a watch, but I don't know.
I think you'd like it.
I've been a huge Spider-Man fan forever. And as a kid, if you would have told me they're going to have all these Spider-Man themed and villain movies, I would have been like super excited to see something decent. And now that it's here, I'm like, I'm just not excited how they're doing it. I just don't really have much interest in it. So that's just me.
But think of it this way, Brian, is you have all these movies that have ruined you for the next one.
Yeah.
Like if you were
probably right.
You know, if you were 13-year-old Brian and you said, you know, you tell him about all these movies, like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And then the first one you show him is Madam Web. It might be his favorite.
That's true.
But you've been spoiled by all these great ones. So one that's, I mean, for all we know, it could be just a fine, decent movie, but comparative to the great ones that have come before it, it looks lesser than.
Yeah. That's you're probably right. It's all good points. I don't know. So if you've watched it out there, let us know what you think. But we'll see. We'll catch it on streaming at some point, maybe.
Right.
All right. Well, another superhero property that is getting some positive buzz that's going to debut on Disney Plus on, I believe it's March the 20th.
Please say Howard the Duck. Please say Howard the Duck.
No, not quite yet. Is a new animated series, X-Men 97. So,
yes,
it picks up from the end of the 97 cartoon series, animated series, that sort of ended weirdly. I watched those on occasion. I wasn't like an avid watcher of that, but it was a solid animated show for sure. And again, 97, these are the days before any big X-Men movie on the screen. I believe, I don't remember when the first X-Men movie came out on the screen, but it was a very, very good animated show. So, and that's what this is. So the characters look like it's animated, similar
from the 90s.
From the 90s, it's got the costumes from that era. It looks really, really good, and it's getting a lot of positive buzz out there. So, yes, March 20th is when it debuts. So, I am definitely excited for this. It's all the classic X-Men characters. It's exciting to me. So, what do you think? Were you an X-Men animated series fan? Are you interested in this, or what do you think?
No and no. No, I just, as a kid, I was more DC. So the X-Men just didn't do it for me. Mm-hmm. I was all about the Superman animation and the Batman animation. I wasn't an X-Men fan. So in turn, I don't see I might throw it on to see what I think, but I don't think it's good. I have no urge to, because I didn't have the urge back then. So,
okay. Fair enough. Just a quick story here. We've talked about her several times on the podcast here. One of our favorite celebrities in the world of pop culture made some news again.
Post. Please be Marky Post.
No, again, not Marky Post, but even better, I think. Okay. Dolly Parton made some news here recently.
Well, when you're right, you're right.
Yes, I did not see this, but apparently there was another country singer, Elle King, who was singing a tribute to Dolly Parton in a recent show to celebrate Parton's 78th birthday. And she was singing one of her.
What's her name's? What's his name's daughter? You can do it. From Saturday Night Live. Jesus, he's in all the Adam Sandler movies saying "You can do it."
Oh, Adam. No.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. That's his daughter.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Okay. That's Rob Schneider's daughter.
I did not know that. Okay. Where apparently she was had a little bit too much to drink, and she said something like "I'm hammered" and messed up some of the words and different things, and it got a lot of negative.
She was trying to sing Jolene, right?
No, she was trying to sing "Real Love."
Okay.
I think that's what it was. Anyway, Dolly came out and said, hey, she's a great girl. I'm reading a quote here, and she's been going through a lot lately. She's had a little too much to drink, and something along the lines of, here she is. So let's just forgive that and forget it and move on, because she felt worse than anybody ever could. So just saw the negative publicity, just Dolly, came out and said, hey, leave her alone and let's move on. Man, yeah. So I just thought that was great.
National goddamn treasure, that Dolly
Parton. She really is. Yeah, so thank you, Dolly. She really is one of our best.
She really is.
So that's it. I just wanted to. I saw that. I thought that's great, and let's recognize Dolly Parton again for being another class act as usual.
More flowers given to the Queen.
Absolutely. We know the Oscars is coming up, Dean, and not this year, but they're announcing a new category. I thought was kind of interesting. It's going to debut next year. So this is the 97th Oscars coming up in a few weeks. And this will start with the 98th ceremony for films released next year. Best casting.
Well, that's
So it's
interesting.
Best achievement in casting. So, yeah, I agree. I think it is interesting. So it's a way certainly to, if it's a, maybe there's a film that didn't necessarily win Best Picture, but will get an extra nod for Best
So, for
casting,
example,
perhaps.
like Ocean's 11 could be nominated for Best Casting.
Sure.
Glory could have been nominated for Best Casting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. So
Now,
I don't know.
do they say who would get the trophy? Would it be the casting director?
Let's see here. I don't know that it says that. I don't know that I have it here in the clip of the article that I yes, casting. Yes, that's it. That's exactly right. The fight for recognition of casting directors. There you have it. So be recognizing people that haven't necessarily received the proper recognition for their efforts. So
I like that.
There you go. That's great. And they're also talking about adding one for best stunts, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. I mean, these guys put their fucking bodies, blood, sweat, and tears into these jobs, and I hope they get the recognition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Lee Majors wins the first one.
Lee Majors?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Took you a second.
All the time he put his, life on the line, bounty hunting, etc., right, and all that stuff. So, absolutely.
Whether he's jumping from a tall building or swinging from a vine.
That's right. That's right. I just saw a picture of him and who played the Bionic Woman?
What was her name? Jamie. I want to say Jamie Farr, but I know that's not correct.
That's not correct. At some awards ceremony not long ago, that they came out, presented some type of award, and got a nice ovation or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Jamie Summers.
Summers, that's right.
Or was that the character name? That
might be the character name, actually. Yeah, I know the name's right in one of the two deals.
That's all right. We'll figure it out here. We'll give.
It's probably Jamie Farr, anyways.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, expand the Oscars. It's good. We want to see more ways to recognize people in the movie business that haven't got the proper recognition, that work hard, and why not? And televise the fucking award while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it one of those awards that's not shown.
At the very least, do a different do a different night for the other awards.
Yes,
because they do have them. They just televise it.
Right. That's right. Like the Grammys, like we talked about last week. At least put it out there for people.
Yeah, online. Put something somewhere.
Something you could do it. Just shoot it. Put it out there. Somebody will watch it. You have it. It's happening. Why not put it out there for people to check it out,
Motherfucker, if you can make WrestleMania 2 nights, you can definitely make the Oscars 2 nights.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, one thing that people definitely watched was the Super Bowl. I saw that it was the highest televised event ever. So it's the most watched telecast, and I think I heard that beyond. So that
hold on,
123 million viewers, Dean. I think the moon landing was the highest viewed event.
Yep.
But this was, of course, a telecast event. So it's the most watched telecast in U.S. history. Pretty amazing stuff. So it's 100. I did have it.
I did have the but my damn tablet is I have to log into something and I can't figure it out.
That's okay. The previous record last year, Super Bowl.
Yep. I saw that.
115.1 million. And this one, you had the extra viewers. Now, obviously, there's other factors as well. Several factors. You had the Usher halftime show. Certainly, you had the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers. So Kansas City's been there a few times. Obviously, the Taylor Swift dynamic with dating Travis Kelce. So I'm sure some folks tuned in simply to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. It was a good game. A close
What was it?
game.
Super Bowl 49, or what was it?
50. This was 58. Was last year, or this one? Excuse me. This one was 58. Yes. Yeah. So several factors made people tune in. So that's what we're talking about here next. So
It was the highest rated thing ever on television.
yeah, and that's something. It's. So, did you watch it? What are some of your favorite things? I mean, did you enjoy the game itself?
I enjoyed the game more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I was expecting a dud or kind of boring. First half was a little.
It was boring. The first half,
a little boring, but the second half picked
defensive
up.
struggle. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Second half picked up. I enjoyed it. I didn't have a dog in the fight, so I didn't give a shit who won. I liked that the Chiefs won for the simple fact that all these right-wing MAGA people's heads fucking exploded with conspiracy theories of the deep state Taylor Swift agenda type shit that we've talked about in past episodes. But I enjoyed the commercials. As always, as everybody does, this is anything new. I did keep a list, compiled a list of some of my favorites and some of the better ones that, you had stuff from, if you don't mind, let me grab my glasses for this because, old. First of all, let's talk about Deadpool 3. It was the first commercial to start off the Super Bowl. And so Deadpool 3 coming in July.
Was it the highest viewed trailer of any trailer ever within a 24-hour period, I believe?
Something like that, I believe so.
That broke a record as well, absolutely. Yep. So that looks
Are you
phenomenal.
Excited about it?
Oh, my God. I was excited already, and then after watching now the TV just had the teaser trailer, but watching the actual trailer.
Yep, I went and watched it immediately. Yeah. Like Megan's down on the floor with Nora playing around, and I'm listening to and I'm pulled it up on my phone. She goes, "Didn't we just watch that?" I'm like, "No, it's the full fucking thing." So yeah, Deadpool 3, and then you got new Planet of the Apes movie coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool.
Yes,
I like the continuation of all that.
Yep.
And then you have some of the. Well, let's go to. Let me personally say FanDuel. In the beginning of the before the Super Bowl started, you had the FanDuel Gronk kick. Mm-hmm. You could wager for free, and then if you bet correctly this year, missed or got it, you get X amount of credits to bet later. Well, I thought, he's a fucking athlete. There's no way with all this practice he can miss 2 years in a row. So I bet that he'd kick it right through the fucking uprights, and
nope.
I was wrong. So, All right. So Brian, we have some of these other, some of the other better ones. You have Mountain Dew with Aubrey Plaza and Nick Offerman, where she's kind of playing her Aubrey Plaza character about Mountain. Yeah, and then Nick Offerman is flying. I think he was on a dragon next to her. Mm-hmm. That was good to see them together. I mean, anytime
Ron Swanson mustache again.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Another one that I loved, me being a professional wrestling fan, the Kawasaki Ridge ad. It had
mullets.
Mullets. It had the bear had the mullet, but then at the end you had Stone Cold Steve Austin had the mullet. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that one. Being a Ted Lasso fan, I enjoyed the Mick Ultra one with Messi, Jason Sudeikis, and Dan Marino. That was fun.
Yep.
I'm not. Forgive me, out of country listeners, but I'm not the biggest soccer fan, so I didn't know. My son had to tell me who Messi was. I'm like, is that guy famous? He goes, Dad, that's messy. I'm like, oh, he looks clean. And then I got the look when I make a dad joke. The one that's CeraVe, the face cream with Michael Cera, where he was kind of doing like he invented it because the name CeraVe. That was fun. And if I'm getting boring on this, let me know, Brian, because I took meticulous notes. I had my notebook, and then if I needed to go do something, grab a drink or whatever, I waited till the game was on. I was making notes. For
a lot of people do that, I'm sure. How many have you mentioned so far?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Yeah, well, give me your top 10.
All right. All right. So the Christopher Walken BMW one. I'm going to rattle these off real quick, and then you stop me if you want to talk about any. You have the BMW Christopher Walken.
I like that.
His thing. That was fun.
Yeah, that was good. I have to imagine, that he's probably one of the most imitated celebrities out there.
It's good to see that he has a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of sense of humor, you have the State Farm, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love that. That might have been my overall favorite. I thought.
And then at the end, with Danny DeVito being there, fantastic.
Yeah, I really like that. Again, that's another one. Or Arnold is not afraid to make fun of his own accent and everything. So I really enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Then you have the Homes.com. You mentioned your fan of Schitt's Creek, where you had Dan Levy and Jeff Goldblum. That was fun.
Yep.
The Teen Mobile auditions. You have Dunkin' Donuts, the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jennifer Lopez. That was good. I guess there's like a 4-minute commercial like you could watch online. It's like 4 minutes long. United Airlines with Kyle Chandler giving the Cleveland Browns speech about waiting. You don't have to wait till next year, book your flight, be that much of a fan that that you're going to be, that you're Browns fans, you're going to be in the Super Bowl. And then at the end they say something about reality or you can cancel at the last minute type thing. As a Browns fan, it sucks, but it was funny. Then you have the more serious one. You have the NFL International Africa spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the Paramount Patrick Stewart, where they ripped off his clothes and he was in the old timey football thing. Uniform.
Arnold, the football, the football head.
Yep.
Arnold, yep.
I'm not throwing a kid. I'll throw the kid. Verizon with Beyonce. She's always fantastic in everything she does.
That's right.
Bud Light's Genie with Peyton Manning and Post Malone was a good spot.
Yeah, that was cute. Yep.
Drumstick. Who fucking does a drumstick thing? But I giggled like an idiot for Dr. Umstick. It's just funny. And Eric Andre being the sick passenger. And then the last one I'm going to mention, Doritos, Grannies.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great spot, but I cannot not mention Jenna Ortega. So
yeah, that's right.
Anytime she gets to be on my screen, I'm a happy pup. So that's the quick list that I compiled for the Super Bowl commercials.
Those are all good ones. And one, I don't know if you mentioned or not, but I like seeing the Clydesdales again on the Budweiser.
Yeah, that was nice.
The old school delivery with the dog. And I mean, it's ridiculous. It harkens back to those crazy over the top Budweiser commercials. They're delivering the beer in the snow and the wagon to get to the bar. It's just like, that would never happen in 1,000 years. Of course not. But that's okay. But
right,
you got to get the drunks their keg is up there in the snowstorm at the bar. They can't just go home or have a different type of beer or something like that. Which
you say it's crazy, but that's actually kind of how I got to do my job sometimes.
That's right.
I got to get some horses and
can't get up there to Parma. We got to get the wagon, get the Ignite horses out of the barn there.
I follow a random golden retriever running down the street, assuming he knows where I'm going.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Seth has the horses, 2-3 horses on his property or something
That's
like
right.
that. I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Takes care of them.
Yep. No, I think all the commercials you touched on, I think it was definitely a lot of my favorites there as well. I don't think there was anything else that Mayo the Cat was kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think the other ones that you touched on too were some of my favorites. The Worth Remembering was kind of funny. Was like people kind of forgot, Uber Eats. It's like something that they forgot like 10 years of their life because maybe they were so hungry or something like that. And you had, Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer. It's like she didn't remember working with him or something like that. So
that was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So. Yeah, but overall, I thought that I don't know. I mean, it's hard to remember year to year the commercials, but I thought there were more memorable ones this year than last year or two. I think, if I remember correctly.
Me, it's hard. For me, it's hard to say because I've never meticulously done what I did this year, and I think writing them down, studying almost, it made me remember them. If I didn't have this, I remember last year we talked about it, and you guys would bring up one and be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one."
Yeah.
But I don't know which one for me would have stuck out the most if I hadn't done this. So it's kind of unfair to my brain at this point.
No, that's good. The Pringles one was kind of funny with Chris Pratt with a mustache and everything.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Anyway, all right. So, what did you think of the halftime show, Usher?
I was putting kids to bed halfway into it, so I wrote down here, halftime show, Usher and Alicia Keys. Come to find out later that more people joined him.
Yes,
I didn't catch that second part, but what I did see of it, just fine. I mean, he's a great performer, great singer. Yeah. Alicia Keys has got an amazing voice, always has. Mm-hmm. It was a good show. I didn't find anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I can't say it was necessarily nothing against them. It's just not the type of music I normally seek out. But
sure,
I tell you what, man, it was a well-produced show, and that fucking guy, he was a motherfucking performer, man. I mean,
he went to work.
I think it sounded like he was actually singing several quick changes, and just seamless. That camera was following him around, and he was just seamlessly singing and moving and fucking roller skating. I mean, God. Yeah. So it
good work.
It definitely did work. Very, very good performance. So I thought it was a lot of fun. It's certainly harkened back to some of the old school songs as well. That he's So I thought it was good. And they already mentioned the game itself was great. It's only the second Super Bowl that went to overtime ever.
It was the 7th longest game in NFL history.
Really? How about okay. It just set up perfectly. You had the perfect opportunity at the end of the game in overtime where Patrick Mahomes, he had an opportunity to drive the team for a championship winning drive and solidify himself as one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks ever, and that's exactly what happened. Took him right down the field. So now he has cemented himself as one of the all-time greats. 3 Super Bowls. 3 MVPs.
I don't know if you could give it all to him because
one of the greatest. I didn't say the greatest.
Well, no. But I'm just saying is like his performance. You can't put it all on him, Brian. There was a quick shot of Taylor Swift. She did this twitching of her nose thing, and I heard some jingling happening. And before you know it, he's going down the field, like a boss.
That's right. That's right. She had a fucking, I think, Donald Trump voodoo doll or something like that. Yep. And next thing you know, championship winning drive. That's it. Yeah.
Sometimes that's the way life hits you.
That's right. That's right. So on that note, all right. So obviously we watched the game. A lot of people watched the game.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the Super Bowl still so popular? Why do you think it's something that people just come together and watch? I mean, what about it? What makes it special? Do you watch it every year? Why do you watch it every year? Why do you think other people watch it every year? This is our Ask an Idiot question of the week now. So go ahead.
I think honestly, it's a community thing, especially now. Everything's gone to streaming. Everything goes to your individual taste that you're able to watch when you want what you want. Appointment television essentially is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. Mhm.
With that, I think if you go once a year and go, everybody, you do your own thing throughout the year, but this
Mhm.
time, this date, this is the time we're all going to get back together.
That's right.
One time a year.
Yep.
There's nothing else going on. Like it's not hell. It could have been back in the day the ball dropping, but
Mhm.
now people are doing their own thing. You're drunk doing this. You're off doing that. There's multiple ball droppings. There's not
That's right.
multiple Super Bowls happening.
Nope.
This is America's appointment. No, this is the world's appointment television.
Hmm.
I was watching a thing where they were showing parties in all sorts of countries watching the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
So this gives us the nostalgia. This harkens back to a time when we did all sit down and watch the fucking moon landing. Maybe that's a little dramatic, but you get the point.
You watch the MASH finale, for example.
Right. Everybody collectively held hands and just kind of squeezed a little bit. And when Hawkeye put his thumb up and had that chopper raised in the air, and you heard the last theme song, and BJ had written goodbye in rocks, so Hawkeye could see it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that anymore,
Right.
except for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's
No, you're right. You think about all the other.
my opinion.
That's a very good point. You're right. All the other major sporting events, all the championships, they're a series.
Yeah, they're
know.
long. They're days. And then a couple days in between them, and
unless there's a game seven. That's
Sure.
like, somebody's going to win this game tonight. If you're an avid baseball or basketball fan or something like that, you probably tune in and see, okay, this someone's going to walk out of here with a championship. You're right. There's no series. It's one game.
And even in that, even in Game 7, Brian, you don't have the spectacle.
Right. That's right.
You don't have the millions of dollars per commercial that people pay to get all of us to watch. You don't have the giant entertainment concert that the Super Bowl has. It's just everything has come together and been produced, and they've spent 58 years perfecting it.
Yes.
And they have.
Yeah, you're right. And of course, it's people will watch the game. That's not necessarily a football fan for other reasons. There's plenty of people that watch that game just for the commercials. There's plenty of people that watch the game just to see Usher. There's plenty of people that watch the game to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. Some people just went to a party. Their friends are having a party. It's a chic, it's a fun thing to do. They're not really a football fan, but everybody's bringing stuff over. It's a whole
or
event.
they bet on it. They get a little square.
Sure. That's right. That's right. Well, they bet now, of course, with all the apps and everything else, and they're tuning in for that reason or what have you. So, a lot of factors. But you're right. Yep. Go ahead.
I only tuned in hopes to get a glimpse of Jamie Farr, but alas, I didn't get to see him.
Wasn't there again. Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yep. That was good. Like I said, it's a time to set aside and just, like we did. It's look forward to just sitting down and hanging out with friends. I don't like to go out for that game. I like to go to someone's house, sit down, bring food over, relax, chill out, and for like 3 hours, that's what everybody's focused on. Everything else kind of goes aside for a minute, and you're just relaxing, enjoying the game, and you see something that you could talk about and everything else. So
this is the first year for us. We sat with the kids, just the four of us.
That's nice.
Meg and I and the two kids, and the kids watched, and we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yep.
I didn't have a drink of beer or anything. I think I had a cup of coffee while watching.
That's great. No, that's wonderful. That's great.
It was nice.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think it's...
Kids got hammered, though.
Nora serving the drinks again. Yeah, I don't know.
She's a mean drunk.
Yeah.
She beat my ass. Sucker punch. So, uncalled for.
I don't see any other event. Like you said, it's the appointment television for, I think you said the best, for the world. I don't know that anything anytime soon is going to unseat it. It's again, like you said, with the world and streaming, no one watches live television anymore,
No,
barely
that's the
for
thing.
anything.
I wish I could pull that thing up, but I had the stats. It was like 150, we'll just say like 158 million, whatever. 3 million of it was from streaming. Paramount Plus was streaming it live, and somebody else was streaming it live. Paramount Plus had the bigger rating in the streaming, but that's 8 million people streaming. Any network show would love to have 8 million. Would die.
Oh my God!
Die to have just 8 million people. And that was just from fucking streaming.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And all of you gotta also think about it this way, Brian, it's not eyeballs. It's not just eyeballs on the product. That was 158 million TVs.
Right.
And you have multiple people sitting at those TVs. You have multiple people sitting at the bar. So again, that calculation of how many people watched was televisions, was screens watched, not the amount of people watching them. Incredible.
That's right. That's
what I've been saying this whole time. It is incredible. Fucking incredible.
Oh, we were just talking about your sex tape, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on that, so I appreciate
a lot of people watched that. We did not know a donkey could. Brian, what were you going to say?
Can really give her.
Well,
yes, that's right.
You got to put him just that right way.
Well, almost as equally exciting as the Usher performance, the great Millennial Nick has joined this episode.
Yes, wow. Right. When I came in late last week, it was like you guys just blew me off and said, "Oh, let us finish talking." Well, he gets the great millennial. Wow.
Well, I mean, maybe someday, if you could be great, then you could get that kind of welcome as well.
There you go. Well, Nick, we're talking about the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Super Bowl here. So we're finishing up our Ask You. So, what is it about? Did you watch the game, and what is appealing to you, and why do you think it's must-see TV?
I assume one of you gentlemen have already kind of discovered this or talked about this angle, but it's a cultural thing, right? Like it is a societal. It's one of the few things we still have. What with streaming and everything, it's one of the few live events that you tune in and watch. And it's not only the game in and of itself. It's the halftime show. It's the commercials. To me, that's probably the biggest one. I wasn't particularly looking super forward to this year's Super Bowl matchup, although both teams were very good and it was an incredible game, especially defensively speaking. But it's still, I make a point if I'm going to get up to do anything, to get a drink or to go run and do something, I wait till the game's in progress. I don't do it when the commercials are on because I want to see the commercials. And essentially that's what everybody's going to be talking about the next day. So commercials are like the thing. I think
motherfucker would bring a new take to the show, but no.
I would also like to ask you gentlemen if you were aware of how the Super Bowl halftime show came to be. Are either of you aware the story? Nope. So the Super Bowl halftime show. Okay. Go. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it started in Tijuana at a donkey show. The guy walked in and watched, probably about half of it, and realized something like this really should be done while people were playing football. And and then he called you and asked if you were busy. You said no. So I think that's when you started.
We're gonna take Usher with the ab shirt anyway. Sorry, we already had a backup plan, and we really like the Usher with the ab shirt thing. So we're gonna go do that. The sparkles and the abs.
They really just stole your thunder, really.
They did, yeah, they really did. Cut me deep. Why'd you ask if you weren't gonna go with me? Why'd you even fucking ask?
Assholes.
No, so apparently, I don't know the exact year, but the reason we'll give you a time frame. For many years, the Super Bowl halftime show was not necessarily a big musical act or something like that. alternative programming would essentially start to put on things during the Super Bowl halftime to draw away ratings, so that while the halftime show was going on, and In Living Color was a big, like In Living Color, I think was one of the main shows that started it, and they would draw attention away from the Super Bowl and have people tune in to them. And the NFL, to combat this, were like, we have
I
to
remember
get...
wrestling had a halftime show once.
Yeah, right. So there was all kinds of, across different major cable networks, they had alternative programming in order to have that time to get people to lure them away from the Super Bowl, and then they go back and watch the second half. So at the time, the NFL's like, no, we need something. We need people's eyes on this game the entire time. So that's where it started, with the big Super Bowl halftime shows and things like that, and getting, top name artists, top billed artists and stuff like that for the Super Bowl halftime show. I heard that on another podcast this week, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I was not really aware of that. Like you said, Dean, I do remember when there were other things, like during the Super Bowl, tune into this.
Halftime Heat, it was called.
That was at another on another channel, but it was, I didn't really think about it like that before. And as you notice, as time's gone on, there just is no more of that. People just assume basically Super Bowl Sunday, like, your programming's fucking shot. Like, you're not going to air anything of any worth on Super Bowl Sunday because it's just too much to compete with. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, in short, long story
the pregame
longer,
started at like fucking 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like I said, it's an all-day affair. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things that, like, it's still a sense of community,
I watched
right? Like
Gilligan's Island marathon up until
kickoff.
I turned it out. Yeah, pretty much about an hour before kickoff. Okay. I watched Gilligan's Island for the day.
Okay. I would say that's a joke, but I believe that you actually did that.
That's 100% true.
But it is it's one of those last few things that we still have, like, culturally, everybody tunes into, everybody talks about the next day. Did you see this commercial? And that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, with so many other events or shows or whatever, you could record it and watch it later, but you're not going to get all the same, commercials and stuff like that. So it's just kind of one of those things you still got to see in real time. Water cooler talk, yeah. Water cooler. It took me a minute to.
No, but that's the point of what you're talking about. The next day, people are, did you see this? Did you see that? That used to be called water cooler talk, because on your break, you'd sit around the water cooler and talk about what you watched or saw the night before.
All right. Just like we are.
I don't know what you're expecting.
Brian, I'm so sorry. Has it been this dull from him the entire time? I'm so sorry.
No, not at all. We're water.
Goddamn delight.
We're water cooler talk every Tuesday morning. It's several offices globally. Yeah, I'm quite certain. That's right. So, all right, good stuff here, guys. So we're going to. Well, Nick just rejoined us, but we're going to
really use a break. I've really been working up a sweat over here.
We'll give him another break, and then yesterday was Valentine's Day. So in honor of Valentine's Day, we're going to talk about some of our favorite
positions.
Yep.
Power couples and power bottoms.
There you go. That's right. Could be that, or it could be favorite fictional couples. Don't know. The only way you're going to know is to come back after the break.
They sure work hard, don't they, Bonnie?
Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard.
Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
Gee, we ought to do something, Fred.
Okay. How's about taking a nap?
I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break.
That's it. Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
Yeah, Fred. Filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it. Up front where it counts. Here, ahead of the pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in filter smoking.
Yeah, Bonnie, Winston tastes good like a cigarette chug.
The Flintstones. has been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Four, three, two.
And welcome back to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I am Millennial Nick, along with Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean, and this fella down here.
Snidely Whiplash.
Snidely Whiplash, there you go. Today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to talk about love. Valentine's Day is upon us. And in the spirit
Love
of
is
love, we would like to talk about some of our
Do I have
all-time
to do that?
favorite... No, you don't. It's just me and Brian showing love. Stop.
No, I got
It's
it.
ours.
Look, you did it for me, too.
Me and Brian do it for each other, not you.
Yeah, I know you
And,
do. Smell your fingers all the time.
Anyway, in the spirit of smelling fingers on Valentine's Day, we're going to discuss some of our favorite fictional couples in media. So, Dean,
It can't be
why don't
because
since
your two love is real.
well, that's true. Dean, why don't since you're the third man out, the third wheel, why don't you start and tell us one of your favorite fictional couples?
Again, it can't be me and your mom because that's real fucking good.
That shit's
All right,
real.
So, real. All right, number one on my list. I'm gonna go with the Flintstones, but not who you think. I'm going the beautiful Barney and Betty. Rubble. Those two get people want to overlook them and
Rubble
go with
in their parts together. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. You know that little guy. You know he's put the shocker in there. You know he knows what he's doing. So yeah, she was a smoke show. He's probably packing like a goddamn hog.
Yeah.
So as tall as wine, fucking girth for days.
Yeah, goddamn Pringle can up in that bitch. So if you're looking like I took my list and I judged on who would I want to see in a sex tape, and number one on my list is absolutely Betty and Barney Rubble.
Fuck yeah.
There you go. You know, I will add there on a serious note, by the way. So,
there is nothing not serious about the conversation that was just had, Brian.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, but as you guys know, I am an adopted child, and on the Flintstones, Barney and Betty adopted a child. So Bam Bam, as you may or may not remember,
I did not know. I did not realize that he was adopted. Oh, okay.
He was an adopted child on the show, and it was sort of a thing where, it's a cartoon. They weren't getting into, why are they adopting a child? But they had some excitement and struggles to adopt him.
Friend, Betty's infertile, so we had to adopt.
No, but as an adopted kid, it was
I'm shooting
cool.
blanks out of my Pringles can.
Whatever,
I've got no choice.
But it was
got
cool
all this
to
bang
see.
and no buck. You know what I mean? Hey.
Pulls down his pants. It's a living.
Anyway, that was cool.
Sorry.
That is very nice,
All
Brian.
No, we
Yeah.
just took Brian's sweet
Lovely
ass sentiment
sentiment.
and ruined it with Pringle can dick jokes.
That's
Look at
right.
us.
I'm going next. I'm going to continue the trend of the Flintstones. One of my favorites is Fred and Wilma Flintstone.
There we go.
I used to watch the Flintstones a ton as a kid growing up on reruns. As you may or may not know, I know you guys know, but it was when Flintstones was on television, it was a prime time show. It was made for an adult audience originally, so it sort of had that honeymooners theme to it. And if I'm not mistaken,
less ideals towards spousal abuse.
But definitely some of the earlier episodes, especially, had some more of adult humor type jokes and all that. But if I'm not mistaken, the first, Fred and Wilma were depicted on television as a married couple doing something that I don't believe any other couple was shown on television doing until the Flintstones, if I'm not mistaken.
Cuckolding.
Nope. One of the first married
That
couples on
brontosaurus is really giving
television.
it to her.
And to live.
One of the first married couples to be depicted sleeping in the same bed on television was Fred and Wilma.
Oh, risque.
If you think back to some of the old black and white sitcoms and all that, like Bewitched, etc., separate beds.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
Which
true.
is strange. Which is strange. It would never happen in real life. Maybe, I don't know, but normally, maybe some couples. But anyway, Fred and Wilma slept in the same bed.
That's actually how Megan and I's bedroom is set up. Is two separate beds, and then once a month we push them together. Unlike Fred, that's actually how he landed Wilma. Not a lot of people know this, but she went to the bowling alley and he watched him put his 3 fingers in, and then on his twinkle toes, ding 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 ding, and just rocked that ball down the lane. And she fainted, and she's like, "Next, please."
Nick, what do you got?
I would like to bring a very lovely couple to the table. Very pure, very wonderful couple. They got together when they were just kids, and I'm going to go with Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World, the popular 90s sitcom. You know what? Corey fell in love with Topanga almost immediately when they were in middle school. Well, yeah, they kind of got off.
She was her first few episodes, her first season. She was the annoying, nerdy girl.
She was the know-it-all, and there was that contentious.
And then the next season, they're like, okay, let's change her character and make it.
But okay, so puberty hits. Some of the odd feelings
girl, you're like,
you may be feeling about each other start to change and things like that.
Curls on his head stood straight up.
From a very young age in middle school, and Corey and Topanga, they dated through their school years and through college, end up getting married on the show. It's a nice story. They had their ups and downs. They learned together. They grew together. They grew into adults together. And
the daughter, where she even met this world.
That's right. Yeah, there was a spinoff, wasn't there? On was it? I think Disney Plus or something did a or Disney Channel, but
Girl Meets World.
That's right. I think I watched 2 episodes of that when it started, and I was like, nostalgia, and then I didn't care anymore.
And I'm like, that's all I needed to see.
Right, yeah. So, but I have Corey and Topanga, Matthews.
Very
Boy
good.
Meets World. Yeah.
Very good.
Dean?
Well,
got any more cartoon porn on your list there, bud?
That's a different list, so I'm going to stick with this list for right now.
Strikingly similar to this one.
Strikingly similar. I'm going to go with the galaxy's favorite couple, Han Solo and Leia Organa. This galaxy power couple, it changed the course of the universe. Their love... without their love, I don't think the Rebel Alliance would be where it is today. Their love saved all of us, not just the universe, all of us.
Yeah.
Plus, again, with the sex tape thing, who wouldn't want to see Harrison Ford give it to Carrie Fisher?
Sure.
Yep.
Did they now? Why was the flame too hot to last? Why did it have to burn out? Why didn't they make it?
And the whiny Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Like a lot of kids that where their parents split up or whatever. Like, oh, I think it was my fault, and it more likely wasn't. This time, no, totally Kylo Ren's fault. You sack of shit.
Terrible.
Yep.
Terrible. Brian.
All right, I'll give you sort of a more modern version of Fred and Wilma Flintstone, Marge and Homer Simpson. How about that? So, not the perfect couple, but definitely love each other. At the end of the day, she really is. Loves her family, saintly woman, like you say, and on the show. And Homer's a dumbass, but at the end of the day, he loves his wife, he loves his family, and that shows through on the series. So, and one of the longest running married couples depicted, the longest running married couple in television history, Marge and Homer Simpson. How about that? So there you go. Yep.
Quite the
Squad
accomplishment.
goals.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Simpsons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Vic?
I mean, he gives us hope. He gives us all of us fat schlubs hope that we could land such a dime piece like Marge.
Such a tall-haired woman. That's like Marge Simpson.
That's right.
Just get up all in that shit.
Yep. Nick, what do you got next?
Next, I have here's a layup for me. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Ross and Rachel from Friends.
Sure.
Ross and Rachel, more so than just the whole Ross and Rachel angle, and really when you look at the 10 years of Friends, Ross and Rachel really only dated for like a couple of those seasons, right? He spends the whole first season they're trying to work it out. He kind of likes her. She kind of likes him. They care about each other. They date in the second season. They get together. Third season falls apart, whatever. So there's like a couple seasons there where they actually spend dating on again, off again. One has feelings for the other one doesn't, and vice versa through the years. All the while, though, they are trying to find ways to be supportive of one another, and there's this undertone of like really unconditional love that they have for one another throughout the years. Even when they're dating other people, they show moments of really caring and for one another and rooting for one another. There's an episode, for example, where Ross sacrifices, some big speech because Rachel hurt herself and she won't take herself to the hospital, so he sacrifices this big moment for himself. And there's all these different ways where they're looking out for each other over the years, even though they're not together, haven't been together for many years. The love is still there. And not to get too sappy about it, but it's a really nice thing. I mean, Friends is a comedy series, but it's a very serious, kind of look at what a relationship should be. That even if, when you really love someone, and you're not with them, the fact that you still look out for them, you still care for them, even if they, don't get to be yours, you still have that love for them as a person. And the fact that they end up together at the end is very nice. Obviously, they have a child together before they end up for the final time with one another. But every time I watch it, and I just kind of watch different episodes, I'm like, it is a nice little thing that, sure, it's a big crux of the whole storyline of the show all through the years. Ross and Rachel, when are they going to get back together? But it is nice. There's all these little moments. They date many other people. Ross is married multiple other times, but eventually, one of the times to Rachel. But it's nice that they do end up together, and through the years, they're always kind of looking out for one another, still showing love for one another, and then do find their way back to one another in the end. I like that.
Very good. Excellent.
Gotta love lobsters.
Gotta love lobsters, man.
Mm-hmm. Dean, I think you're up next.
I am. Nick's an idiot.
That's okay. That's all right.
I was blinded by love, Dean. Fuck you.
I hope that someday when Nick and you and I share our first kiss, the crowd goes woo. Also, that's my hope.
It might.
My next offering for this love fest is a couple that again, like Ross and Rachel, you see it blooming, but this started as a friendship. They give it a little more time to build. But the love that they showed that they had for each other through the show was really special and like actual heartwarming and at times and actually they never kind of deviated from the story. But I'm going with
This
Jim
could be
and
Two
Pam.
Girls, One Cup, isn't it?
No, but Jim and Pam from The Office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
They had like a hiccup towards the end of the series, but they only lasted a couple episodes, and it wasn't even the idea of like they were going to break up. It was just like they had marital issues like anybody else does. But for the most part, it just showed how much they cared for each other, first as friends, and then it was honestly in TV form a beautiful relationship to watch and nice because like a lot of the other ones like Rush and Rachel will break up here, break up there. They have to have their trials and tribulations. This was just kind of the heart of the show. And it was nice to see a couple on TV that didn't have like the tumultuous times.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Jim and Pam of it all from The Office.
Very good.
Nice.
That's a good one. Well, another.
Now is it Brian's turn?
Yes.
Yes.
Only
So
reason I
you
showed
gotta
up
learn-
tonight was to hear Brian speak. I don't know.
Maybe you just got to learn our names.
Well, as a kid, a lot of the reruns on television were from the 60s, the 60s cartoons, television shows, and all of that. And, as you might remember, so many wholesome couples in the 60s were depicted on television. Fred and Wilma. We talked about, Fred and Barney already and others. And another strange couple, well, maybe one of the strangest married couples probably ever depicted on television, but just loved each other, so sweet and kind all the time, but just both very strange beings. The Munsters. I'm going to give you Herman and Lily Munster. Just every scene of them, clear. Exactly. Herman loved Lily to death, and she was always very a nice motherly figure on the show. At the end of the day, there were two beings that loved each other, even though they were weird. They didn't think they were weird, but the world thought they were weird, but they still loved each other and their family. And that in itself is a nice message out there. So Herman and Lily Munster. Love the Munsters to this day.
I like that.
There you go.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Nick?
Love you guys also. I'm going to go off the board with this one. Because I love you guys, I would say, are proof that couples or a tripod, as you might call us.
Mm-hmm.
Thruple. I like to call us a thruple.
Or is not bound necessarily to romantic love, except, sometimes off camera, whatever. But outside of the box,
I got two hands and a lot of love, baby.
Is a couple, but not in the romantic sense. Sometimes you might say that maybe you love people that you work with. A working relationship in many ways could be like a relationship. And these two gentlemen work together and really, through it all, truly grew to love one another at many points throughout the show. I'm going to have to go with Walter and Jesse from Breaking Bad. These two showed a lot of love for each other over the years. They certainly were a couple in the space of the drug industry.
Sure.
And definitely you see the ups and downs of their relationship, times of them not trusting one another and going back and forth. There's power struggles and different dynamics in their relationship. But at the end of it all, I feel like both of them truly, and at various points, really deeply care about the other one. And it's a very realistic look, I think, at like the human relationship element with a friend. And, like I said, there's kind of the ups and downs. At times they almost felt like enemies, but ultimately I think that they really cared about each other and loved one another. So I will say Walter and Jesse from Breaking Bad.
That's kind of like Brian and Nick, your guys' relationship a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick doesn't deal with drugs. He deals with hugs, and but it's gotten in the way of his relationship a lot.
Yeah, I'm a hug dealer.
That's right.
Well, I could go to Brian again, but I know I'll get corrected and redirected to Dean. So, Dean, you might as well just fucking go.
I will hug the shit out of you. My next one is legitimately one of my favorite couples of television. They're just sweet and adorable and romantic, funny as all get up, and it depicts society today. And I am proud and loving couple, Cam and Mitchell from Modern Family.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Those two are just two of the funniest damn characters on TV, written well. portrayed fantastically by both. But the couple themselves shows just like what a loving marriage could and should be. I think it's a great depiction of just, marriage, like everyday marriage, kind of like a Dan and Roseanne, or, just what kind of an insight of what real life marriage looks like. So, yeah, Cam and Mitchell from Modern Family.
It's a good one.
Great choice. Yep. Well, as a kid, this couple came from the world of comics originally, and it really depicted a couple that had a lot of struggles, and it found a way to persevere and remain together. He was broke most of the time, struggling to survive in the comics, but he had a lot of conflict.
I didn't know Dean and Megan were a comic book character before they were our friends. That's crazy.
With this head, you don't think this was a comic book?
That's right. That's right. And she was a well-known model and kind of about town. And he was struggling to maintain all that stuff. So I'm going to give you Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. The Amazing Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
So they call me Peter Peeker.
That's right. That's right. And Nick, they've called Peter Porker, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
at times. Yes. No, but in the comics, just a great
Sliderverse.
Yes. That's right. No, but that's Amazing Spider-Man. A very relatable character is that he was just an everyman, struggling to make ends meet. He had this power. Obviously, the whole great power with comes great responsibility. So he's out there trying to use his powers for good. Has to deal with an aging aunt, trying to keep up with Mary Jane, her lifestyle, and she's desired by all these people.
You try to keep up with Mary Jane all the time, don't you?
That's right. Anyway, great fictional couple. I remember as a kid thinking, that's something, that seemed real to me. Like, that's real grown-up type problems that Peter Parker had. It was not relatable when I first started reading it, but as you grow up and he is still a relatable character, I think, even in the movies and all that today. So there you go. Nice. Nick, what else you got? Yep.
This one is one that I kind of see happening in the future. Okay. This is one that certainly has kind of been in the works. It's been making its way there for a while, and this is one that I definitely see being the next great love affair. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me and my brand new electric bike from our friends at RPM Bike Shop. That's right. I can see myself today riding off into my electric future with the finest electric bike on the market today from our friends at RPM Bike Shop. That's right. Here's why I see it happening. Okay, I am here in Northeast Ohio. They are in Carrollton, right here in Northeastern Ohio, right? The logistics work out. I can see myself with a wonderful electric bike, and you might be able to see yourself with one of their wonderful electric bikes. In fact, you can head on over to their website, which is rpmbikeshop.com, see for yourself. You can also go to their Facebook page, just search RPM Bike Shop, or, hey, maybe give them a call on the Love Line, 330-808-7792, and perhaps you can find your next great love affair with an electric bike from RPM Bike Shop. That's right. It's a good pick. That's a pro tip for you.
I heard the love affair started when you backed into the handlebar.
That's right. Well, I definitely felt some things. Certainly, my spider senses were tingling. I felt some things that I hadn't felt in a while. And yeah, certainly. There was chemistry. Let's just say that. For my next submission, aside from myself and RPM Bike Shop, I was almost going to cheat and say the whole show because there's like a lot of great couples on the show. But if I had to pick out one, I'll go with them. I could have cheated and said basically any married couple from This Is Us. There's so many great examples of unconditional love on that show, but is there any more pure than Jack and Rebecca, their whole love story, the tragic end? I mean, honestly, at the beginning they have turbulent times. Like, he's a bit of an alcoholic. He needs to get his drinking under control. And there's jealousy
Somebody
issues
just called
with
her a
singing.
complainer.
But ultimately, by all intent and purposes, until, he dies tragically in the house fire, they just have a wonderful life raising their 3 kids. And I love the way that show highlights their love, and then the way it kind of carries over into the relationships of their children throughout
And the
year.
ending was beautiful for them.
Bah!
Sorry.
What ending? Wait, don't, because I still haven't finished the last season.
How in the
Dude, we just started rewatching Loki. Okay, we we picked Loki back up. All right, it's things are
Okay.
working.
Jesus
They're
Christ.
not linear here. I'm still not done with This Is Us, but beautiful love story. Beautiful love story. Also,
It ends with them both being eaten by a bear. All right, I spoiled it.
quick shout out to
Fucking
Beth and Randall.
A.
Beth and Randall are a great fucking example of what a couple should be. They support each other. They love each other. It's fantastic.
They blew up in a house explosion in Mars when they colonized it. You're going to be really surprised by this last season.
Mhm.
Fucking writers just stopped giving a shit.
Well, all the same, seasons 1 through 8 of this, or 7 of This Is Us, whatever it was fantastic. But yeah, I've got Jack and Rebecca from This Is Us. Just a lovely little story there. Dean,
All right.
any shows that you can speak on their couples that you've actually finished?
I'm about to finish on you. The next one
This
I'm
took
going to
a
go
turn
with.
for the sixth.
Yeah, it did. I'm going to go with. You know what? Here we go. I'm going to go. I've gone to like good pure couples that I've enjoyed their love and enjoyed their affection. I want to put one on my list that is a bit rocky, that has those trials and tribulations, that didn't quite start out well, but they had the greatest chemistry, good and bad chemistry, back and forth, even to where it got physical, with slapping each other.
Oh,
And it was-
are you talking
it
about
was-
you and
it
me?
God, I hope so. No, I'm talking about Sam Malone and Diane Chambers from
Yes.
Cheers.
Very good.
And they're on my list because the attraction was always there. But I put them on the list of the banter. Like, it's that pulling the pigtails, dipping the pigtails in ink type thing, where you like her, so you pick on her. And she liked him, so she picked on him. There was jealousy there when they saw each other with other people. And even up until the final episode of the series. Nick, I don't want to spoil it for you because you've probably never seen it.
I've never heard of Cheers.
Especially while you're doing the show. So I would say, yeah, those two are up there with my favorite couple, given that it was on and off again. But the love was always there, and it was funny and exciting, especially for the time. I think America sitcoms had always seen these couples that were loving and from even then the Cosby Show that showed the perfect marriage, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke, all of these different shows like that. I think Cheers was something different and showed something different, and I think everybody was drawn to it. And so, yep, Sam Malone and Diane Chambers from Cheers.
Yeah, that's a great one. That final scene, Dean, when it's very powerful. It sticks to me even today. Like many of us have had that feel. You're trying to make it with somebody, and it's not really, and then it's like, well, I'm gonna, you're breaking up, but I'll come back and we'll do this or we'll do that, and I'll come back in 6 months or something like that. And she walks up those stairs, and he just kind of stood there, and
yep,
and he just said after she closed the door, "Have a good life," because he knew he was not going to see her again. And it was like, wow, that was just such a powerful moment in that series there with those two. But anyways,
speaking of not going to see each other again, the two sides of Dean's shirt. Dean, are you wearing a flannel shirt completely open with no undershirt? Is that what's happening right now?
No undershirt, but it's buttoned down here.
Okay.
It's
I
just
couldn't-
the camera is higher,
Okay.
so you're just getting the sexiness that is the chest. Do that?
Okay.
Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. It just looked like it was kind of just open there, and I'm like,
It's
I
always
just
up
see
for
you
you,
sitting
baby.
there, and
Yeah, that light reflection is something else. You get yourself a tan through the video. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you. Dean already said it. It's an overlap here, but the first power couple in the universe, Han and Leia, is on my list as well. So I remember as a kid, it was like, wow, those two can't possibly get together, and they sure did, and it was pretty amazing in the movie. And of course, Empire Strikes Back when they got together. So that was awesome, great couple. That's it. So there you have it. The first power couple in my youth, Han and Leia.
Absolutely.
My top 5. Yes.
And my final submission here. I've had a lot of ideal couples. Ups and downs, sure, but for the most part, smooth sailing. This couple did not have an ideal relationship in our time viewing their relationship, but through it all, they stuck together. It may have taken him, flying around their home city and rescuing their son from certain death, but it was Liz and Howard from Jingle All the Way. He may not have always been around, but damn it, it was all in the interest of making their sweet, sweet boy happy on Christmas and being dedicated to providing a lovely life for his family. And after it all, damn it, they turned it around. He started focusing on family more, and are just Liz and Howard, just the best through the good times and the bad, through the Turbo Mans and the Boosters. They made it together. Liz and Howard Langston from Jingle All the Way, through the sleazy neighbors, the house fires, the burglaries, the reindeer.
I was rooting for the sleazy neighbor. It's kind of how I watched the movie.
Yeah, so was he.
All right. So let's go through some of our honorable mentions, right, gentlemen?
Sure.
Billy and Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. The next one, real quick, I will go Ariel and Eric, just because, once again, sex tape. Little Mermaid, and that's from.
Okay.
And then
Brian is unenthused.
You telling me you wouldn't watch a Disney Ariel and Eric sex tape? You wouldn't pop that on. You're lying. That's what you're doing.
Pop it
What's she,
on.
like,
I've searched it out.
15? Yeah, sure. That's right.
Everything exists on the internet. We have AI.
Mhm.
God damn it.
Yep.
Had animators
And then-
for even longer.
I have here it is. Noah and Allie. If you're not familiar with the two names, they are the two characters from the movie The Notebook.
That's some guy and Brian's girlfriend.
Slow down.
Hey there. No, Noah and Allie from The Notebook.
Oh, okay.
They had their ups and downs, but god damn it, they died holding hands at the same time.
There you go.
So come on, that's true love. Or they just got tired of each other and just died out of exhaustion.
What do you say we just both die simultaneously?
Right.
We can
Just
only ask
done
each other
with
what
this
each other
shit.
want to eat for so long, and
Right.
no one answers before we just die. I feel like
I
that's how
stopped-
Robin and I are going to go.
Yeah.
We're just going to be asking each other what we want for dinner, and then we'll just both give up and die together
I stopped
simultaneously.
caring how your day was back in '83. Fuck y'all. So next,
Okay, I have an honorable mention list here. The probably the most passionate couple I can remember. The early from early television. Another strange couple, Gomez and Morticia Adams. How about that? So on the original Adams Family.
I would even put that one even up above Herman and Lily. I mean, the passion was there.
Yes.
Like, I mean, they couldn't keep their hands off of each other.
No, that was early, even the '60s television.
Yeah.
That was definitely a little bit risque.
Kissing
at
up
the
that
time.
arm. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, they were definitely. They probably incorporated thing. It was a whole thing over there in that house. You know what I mean? So yeah, good stuff. I'm just going to go through a quick, real fast. I also had Cam and Mitch from Modern Family. Sam and Diane also I had from Cheers. Pam and Jim, The Office, I had them as well. Ben and Leslie from Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
Very sweet
That's
couple. Again, another early couple on television that loved each other and they go through a lot of weird and strange things. Samantha and Darren from Bewitched. Remember watching Bewitched often as a kid.
I love that throuple.
Yeah, absolutely. George and Jane Jetson, another early cartoon. George and Wheezy Jefferson, another show I used to love watching, the Jeffersons back in its time.
Talking about a needed sex tape.
Sure. They had a great, they probably had the maid in there, the whole thing, you know. An 80s show watched with my parents, I thought was cool. Heart to Heart. That's a retro throwback for you there. Jennifer and Jonathan Hart. I had Ross and Rachel, and also Monica and Chandler, kind of the same for Friends. Okay. Lois Lane, Superman, and Shrek and Fiona from the Shrek movies. And finally, way back television, I used to watch reruns of this as well. Lucy and Ricky, another great depicted married couple on television. There you have it. Nick, what do you got for your honorable mention?
Honorable mentions. This is one that I always enjoyed as a sitcom. Doug and Carrie Heffernan from King of Queens. Similar dynamic to the super hot wife and the kind of dumpy guy, whatever. But she had this demeanor where a lot of times she acted very annoyed by him, very whatever. But there were these moments where they showed a lot of love for each other, and I like that. Cartoon couple, Aladdin and Jasmine. Obviously, classes aside, they fell in love with one another, and I thought that was always very nice.
Yeah, they did.
In the spirit of couples that simply couldn't keep their hands off of each other, and I absolutely find hilarious through the years, another Friends one. Jack and Judy Geller. I love how in love they are with each other, even as they're older, and they're constantly finding, and messing around, and anniversary parties, and in the bathroom. It's just, I love how, always all over each other they were throughout the years. It was kind of cool. And another one, just a good, supportive couple through thick and thin, a very pure couple on both sides, really. Clark and Ellen Griswold. Just two pure, sweet people that kind of stick by each other thick and thin. So, those are my honorable mentions.
Very good.
Very good. I have one more couple, guys, that when they come together, creates magic.
I may have witnessed this happening tonight.
Yes.
Them coming together. Magic. They create as well. Yeah.
Art. A little bit of pain. A beautiful pain, if I may say. A tattoo
still talking
needle.
About Dr. Smith and Will Robin?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
can't edit that one out. It's in the middle of an ad read. Gotta get it.
We're gonna call 911 here in just a moment here. A tattoo needle and skin is what I was referring to as another dynamic.
I was
couple.
so close.
But this is a real couple, and if you want to experience this real dynamic couple and create your own magic and experience your own art forever, then contact our friends at Golden Heart Tattoo. Find them on Facebook at Golden Heart Norton, Norton. This might be changing soon. We'll keep you posted.
Details to come.
Find them online, goldenhearttattoos.com, or give them a call at 234-706-2982 and ask them, where the hell are you located right now? Because we're trying to figure this out. But they will tell you wherever they are for an appointment, whether it be Norton, whether it be where the hell wherever they're going to be. But experience your own.
No spoiler alerts.
That's right. Your own magic. There you have it, gentlemen. We've experienced it. We've given enough love, I think, for an entire episode here.
Some say too much.
Yeah, that's why I came in late. It's about as much love as I can give. I'm spent. I give you about a third, half at best.
Yes, certainly more than we've been able to provide our lovely ladies in any single amount of time in quite a while. You know, what I'm
we
saying?
we didn't even need a blue pill for this one.
No, absolutely not. So, Nick, you want to take us out, please, sir, in a lovely way.
I would love to, because I love you guys, and I love you, our 3.5 listeners. I love you all so very much that I would love for you to come and find us on your favorite social media accounts. You can find links to each and every one of them on our Linktree. Go to Google, type in Convincing Idiots, Linktree, LINKTREE. You can also find that on our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this ever so special and romantic episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick.
I'm the lovely Zennial Dean.
Loving Gen X Brian.
We all do.
Have we tantalized your senses and enticed you to join us for another romantic episode of Convincing Idiots? Happy Valentine's Day.
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.
Ham gravy.
You have 1 minute.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
3.
This week on Convincing Idiots, good thing you stopped by, because we talk about Madam Web. We talk about the couples, our favorite fictional couples. We get into asking convincing. God damn it!
Yeah, couldn't fucking do it. 60 seconds. Do it.
1 minute. One fucking minute.
No,
1 minute.
stop. I'm not gonna make it.
No. All right.
I'm gonna send you a
You
link.
could have made
Yep.
it, but you didn't. Yeah,
Yep.
it's okay.
I got too excited and shot my. All right.